Pretoria, Darul, Uloom, Pretoria, Darul, Uloom, Pretoria, Darul, Uloom, Pretoria. कितना हसीनो दिलरुबा दारुल.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair wa bika nasta'in. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. It is a major concern, a major issue. A question has been asked again and again by our community, that is it allowed to perform Jummah at home? Look, the simply answer will be, it is not permissible to perform Jummah Salah at home, as there are some conditions for the establishment of Jummah. Amongst these conditions are Izni'am and selection of Imam, which are usually non-available or rather absent from a home scenario. That's why a general and very simple answer would be given that Jummah is not permissible at home. Rather, Jummah must be performed at masajid. But during the current situation of national lockdown, our masajid have been closed, and entry is not permissible into masajid, thus making the condition of Izni'am meaning general permission, open permission, is non-existent even in masajid. It is with great regret that this condition is absent not only in South Africa, but in so many countries throughout the globe, thus making it impossible to perform Jummah Salah in most places with all those conditions that our fuqaha placed. It is becoming very difficult because it is a global issue that people are unable to perform Jummah according to the conditions what fuqaha placed. Therefore, it is very important to establish the reasoning of jurisprudence for the establishment of the said condition, Izni'am, open permission, that in which era this condition was placed and what was the purpose of this condition. So, inshallah, I will talk today in these matters that what is the purpose of the condition of Izni'am, when this condition was placed, what is the condition, what is the purpose of the condition to appoint an Imam, and what we're gonna do in this current situation. The condition of selection of Imam, it was placed for Dafai Munaza'a, to remove the fight. It was basically that to remove the fight, that people must not indulge in Munaza'a, as it is mentioned that in Hidayah, وَلَا يَجُوزُ إِقَامَتُهَا إِلَّا لِلسُّلْطَانِ أَوْ لِمَنْ أَمَرَهُ السُّلْطَانُ لِأَنَّهَا تُقَامُ بِجَمْعٍ عَزِيمٍ وَقَدْ تَقَعَ الْمُنَازَعَةُ فِي التَّقَدُّمِ وَالتَّقْدِيمِ وَقَدْ يَقَعُ فِي غَيْرِهِ فَلَا بُدَّ مِنْهُ تَتْمِيمًا لِأَمْرِهَا. And that's the reason, not only in Hidayah, in many book of fiqh we find that Sultan, King, Amirul Mu'mineen, Amirul Muslimin, he must appoint an Imam to perform Jummah Salah, to lead Jummah Salah. If not King of Muslims, then the deputy of, or anybody that King allow him, command him to appoint an Imam, he has authority to appoint Imam. What is the reason? Because that people must not have disputes and arguments. No, this person should be Imam or that person should be Imam. That's why Khalifa, Sultan, King, he must appoint an Imam. But if we say that we see in today's time, this process is non-existent. What happened? Few people of a sabab that they appoint an Imam, and sometime what happened that one person only is appoint Imam. He's the chairman of masjid, or he built the masjid, he's appointing Imam. And while other people are only agree to that Imam. So ittifaq is there. And sometime even in our masajid, possible out of 100, 50 are in the agreement and 50 are in the disagreement. They are not happy with Imam, but still that Imam is leading Jummah. So the selection in our days, it is taking place by the community. And it is permissible because when ittifaq of people is there, fuqaha, it is allowed in the time of even Sayyiduna Usman bin Affan radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was surrounded by people and was not allowed to come out of his house. Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu led the Jummah Salah. Why? Because people were agree to make him Imam. And even some of ulama, they said where the word Amir is used, Amir mana Amirul Jumu'ah, as it is mentioned in Bukhari Sharif, باب إذا اشتد الحر يوم الجمعة حدثنا أبو خلد صلى بنا أمير الجمعة. So they say Amir mana Amirul Jumu'ah. So it is understood that appointed Imam, meaning any, if so, even the people of that house where Jummah is performed, for example, if people want to perform Jummah at home, in people in that house, they select Imam, and the selection of Imam then will be done because all his muqtadi, they are agree to make him Imam, while he is eligible to be Imam. He knows the Arkanul Jummah and etc. etc. In the current lockdown situation, mosques are closed. And very few selected people, they are performing Jummah in these mosques, where the condition of Isni'am is absent. It's not there. Because what's happening, that few of possible, that 4 or 5 people, they are performing Jummah at masjid, while masajid are locked. And people have no access to enter into the masjid. So Isni'am is absent in any case. And about that, Fatawa Alamgiri, it is mentioned there, that Isni'am means that whichever Muslim want to enter to masjid may be permitted to do so. And then he said that, for example, if any congregation, they assembled in masjid and they locked the masjid, and Jummah was performed while masjid was locked, the door was closed, the doors were closed, then Jummah will not be valid. So that's how what is happening in our the current situation, that even masajid do not meet the condition of Isni'am. So with the recent situation of somewhat anxiety, the ulama have ruled that though the mosques may remain closed, but some people like resident, those are staying in the same premises, imam, khadim, 1 or 2 person, may they perform Jummah in masajid. Thus the performance of Jummah at home also could be allowed. Meaning, if we allow few selective people to perform Jummah in masjid while masjid is closed, so the same scenario we can bring to the home, and may Jummah could be performed at home. Remember that for Jummah, masjid is not a condition. Masjid is not a condition according to Ahnaf and according to Shawafi, that masjid is not a condition. Jummah can be performed any place as long as there are conditions are met. So in South Africa, I remember, because of this state of disaster, some mosques had more than one Jamaat for Jummah. More than one Jamaat was done, which is not allowed, non-permissible according to Fiqh Hanfi. Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, when he was asked, Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi said that this is ibtida'u fi deen. This is bid'ati sayyi'a shani'a to perform two Jummah in one masjid. Meaning it is an evil innovation. But because of this situation, that ulama, they declared it is permissible because there was a durura, there was need for that. Otherwise, what would happen, that might few people, those came early, Jummah is done, 100 people, less than 100 people, we would perform Jummah, and then the rest of people they must perform Zohar. But ulama, they allowed, because ad-daruratu tabihul mahzurat. And the situation now is that 3 to 5 people are performing Jummah in the masjid, and the rest of usual congregation are deprived. Therefore, under the rule of ad-daruratu tabihul mahzurat, the people should be permitted to perform their Jummah and not be deprived. As according to the same rule, 2 Jamaat were done, or more than 2 Jamaat were done in one masjid, and as the selected people are performing Jummah while there is no general permission, there is no isne'am. So here also, to perform Jummah at home, may we apply the same rule, ad-daruratu tabihul mahzurat. May people be not deprived from Jummah. And let me explain to you about the condition isne'am, that when that condition was placed, and what is the purpose of that condition. By isne'am, is not meant that all and suddenly need to be called upon, or that a huge or miling crowd need to assemble, but it means that none should be prohibited. That's why Allama Shami rahimahullah, right, if the king by virtue of his majesty and would want to perform Jummah Salah at his home, and leaves the door of his abode or palace open, then this will be indicated as a isne'am. Then Salah will be correct, whether the masses join in or not. Meaning a lot of people came or not, he just kept the door open, allowed people to enter, so isne'am condition is fulfilled. But if king closed the doors of his house or palace, and guards are placed there to stop people, then Jummah is not valid at that house. And after further discussion, Allama Ibn Abidin Shami rahimahullah, he concluded, he said, قُلْتُ وَيَنْبَغِي أَنْ يَكُونَ مَحَلُّ النِّزَاءِ ما إذا كانت لا تقام إلا في محل واحد أما لو تعددت فلا لأنه لا يتحقق التفويت كما أفاده التعليل تأمل. فليس يحمل على ما إذا منع الناس فلا يضر إغلاقه لمنع عدو أو لعادة. I say that a point of dispute would only arise if Jummah is done only at one place. But if it is done at multiple venues, then not, because depriving people from Jummah is not proven. Meaning, if Jummah is done on multiple places, in that scenario, king is performing Jummah at home, then Imam Shami said that it should be valid, because in this case, that people are not deprived. So ta'lil, the ullah, the reason is mafkud, is absent, so they should be allowed to perform Jummah at home. Jummah won't be, then further he said, Jummah won't be allowed at home if he stops people. If he stops people to enter into house or close the doors, then Jummah won't be allowed. But if he closed the doors because of enemies or habitually as the palace's door are closed, Allama Shami said, Jummah will be valid. That's what mentioned in Raddul Muhtar, Fatawa Shami, Babul Jummah. And in other, so from here we understand, one thing we do understand, that when we perform Jummah at home, habitually the doors are closed of home, as it is mentioned in this quotation. If habitually king close the door, is okay. Secondly, that at home while we are performing Jummah, if we do not allow everybody to enter, it's not that we are stopping people to come to Jummah, to perform Jummah. The purpose is that security. As Allama Shami said, if he has fear of enemies, then he closed the door, so then Jummah will be allowed. And in another juncture he writes, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ هَذَا الشَّرْطَ لم يذكر في ظاهر رواية ولذا لم يذكر في الهداية بل هو مذكور في النوادر. That this is not mentioned. أن هذا الشرط لم يذكر في ظاهر رواية. That is not mentioned in Zahir Riwayat, but it is mentioned in Nawadar. That's why we do not find meaning. In early stage, this condition was not mentioned. So from the above mentioned quotations from Allama Shami became apparent that this condition was an addition from the later jurists, and the reason was to move from non-deprivation. Therefore, under the situation of the lockdown, where there will be multiple forums of Jummah, then the cause will not remain, and nobody is stopping people to enter to his house, meaning nobody is stopping people to perform Jummah at his house. But if somebody stop or close the door, it is for security purpose. So as a conclusion, I will say, any such place where Jummah with all its Shari conditions fulfilled is not being performed in the masjid, then the resident of that area may perform their Jummah in their homes. Again, any such place where Jummah with all its Shari conditions fulfilled is not being performed in the masjid, then the resident of that area may perform their Jummah in their homes, and such a person must lead the congregation who is eligible to do so and understand the principles of Jummah. This would be only permissible as a need, and for the duration in which the need exists, as it is the rule of fiqh, ma sabata bid-dururati yataqaddaru biqadri durura. So we allowed this because of need. So as long as there is need, it will be permissible to perform at home. But when lockdown is finished, there is no need, masajid are open, then obviously that it won't be allowed to perform Jummah at home. There must be not less than 3 people eligible for Jummah other than Imam, meaning at least there must be 4, including Imam. If at any place Jummah Salah is being performed in masjid with izne am, meaning open permission, under such circumstances, it will be absolutely impermissible to perform Jummah at home. Anywhere, in any town, if masjid is open, people have access to masjid, then is not allowed to perform Jummah at home. After Salatul Jummah, the congregants must, as a precautionary measures, read 4 rakat of fard of Zohar, as all the conditions those are mentioned by our predecessors are not met with, and this is done under circumstances of anguish. We are in need, so that's why we are doing that. So due to the differences of opinion after Jummah, performance of 4 rakat of fard Zohar from a taqwa piety point of view would be permissible. Allama Shami states that any such place where there is a doubt of it being a city or town, then the people of that area should, as a precautionary measures, read the Zohar. This would be as such that if the validation of Jummah was not fully compliant with the Shari regulation, then the fard of Zohar would be in place. So in that case, when Jummah is performed at home, we must perform 4 rakat of Zohar Salah individually. The reason behind that if because of the Shari conditions that our Jummah is not valid, at least we perform our Zohar Salah. That's what Allama ibn Abidin Shami said, wherever there is doubt, so that could be done. So in Allahu wa Rasuluhu a'lam bis-sawab. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.